Okay, guys, World Carnivore Day 5, starting off well. I got a couple ribeyes I'm going to eat. I want to just provide a little historical context. I saw a little bit of a tweet thread from a friend of mine, Amber O'Hearn, who, for you guys that aren't familiar with her, Amber, I consider a very brilliant, well-spoken, very logical person who's been within this quote-unquote carnivore community for well over a decade. In fact, she's been doing this diet twice as long as I have. I think she's probably close to 13, 14 years, whereas I'm just now in my 7th year. And when I wrote the best-selling book, The Carnivore Diet, I patterned that book based upon the success of people within that community. That is to say, people that have been doing this diet for 10 years, 15 years, 20 plus years. And that's what I use as my frame of reference for making recommendations within the book. What I didn't do was, use some fanciful made up argument about what I think our mythical ancestors ate. I didn't resort to some, we had this mythical testicular, chowing down ancestor. And I wrote the book as hopefully a way to help as many people as possible, not as some thinly veiled tome to set up a supplement sales business, and unfortunately, I think that has occurred in a way. And I'm, like I said, if you want to make money, that's fine. That's up to them. But anyway, so I've stuck to the principles that I laid out, in the book and what these people have been doing for 10 years. It has been very successful for me. It has been very successful for other people. A lot of the people that, when it comes to organ meats, I consider them maybe a condiment, maybe it's something you can include in the diet, but I don't consider them necessary. In fact, if we look at, the plausibility of a large animal, which we clearly did hunt, if we just look at a modern cow, 1,200-pound animal, something like that, maybe a little bit, maybe 1,400 pounds, slaughter weight, an animal that size, livers are going to be about 10 pounds. It's going to be one of the largest organs they have. And, and then how much meat do you get off an animal that size? Maybe 600 pounds. So you've got 10 pounds versus 600 pounds. So if you ate in that proportion, you would eat it fairly infrequently. And the other thing you have to realize, anybody who's gone hunting, harvested a deer or something like that, the internal organs, they're hard to transport. They don't keep that well. It's hard. A lot of times they deteriorate very quickly, hard to preserve. And so I suspect that our ancestors perhaps didn't eat organs that much. Perhaps they did at times, perhaps occasionally they felt they needed to, but in general probably, and again, this is all speculation. None of us were there. None of us can go back in a time machine and go back to 50,000, 100,000 years ago when mammoths roamed the earth and we were eating those. We don't have any way. All we can do is look at perhaps modern populations of hunter-gatherers, all of which are very poor, all of which are living this subsistence lifestyle. And a subsistence lifestyle is very different than living in surplus. And I would argue that early man, back when mammoths roamed everywhere and there weren't that many humans and we were very effective at killing them, lived in surplus. They basically killed those elephants and other large animals whenever they wanted to. They weren't that hard to track. They didn't run away. Once we figured out how to kill them, it was actually pretty easy. There's a nice paper on that talking about elephant hunting in the Pleistocene, which I'll include in the description if you guys want to read that. And so if we had access to plenty of meat, perhaps we preferred the ribeye steaks, than the testicles or whatever. Anyway, I'll leave it to you guys to think about that. But that's why I wrote the book. That's what I patterned it off of. I think it makes sense to pattern it off of actual successful people that are actually been doing this stuff for years and years and decades and continue to do it that way. That's been my sort of touchstone since this has started, and I'll continue to use it. All right, what are you guys doing for World Carnivore Month? Let me know in the comments. Hopefully it's going well for you. Like I said, day 5 for me. And I'm always have fun with this. I always tighten it up to go just basically red meat and water during that month, and I really, really, really enjoy it. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.